Hello, my Capricorn collective. Happy birthday to all of you guys. This is Zaida Velgara from Becoming I Am here with the reading for February of 2026. So, for you guys that are newer to my channel, just keep in mind that I start out with some astrology. I let you know what's happening and then how it's going to affect you specifically. And then in the end, I do some tarot. So it's a longer message and it goes into much detail. It's not for the weak of heart, let me say. Okay, so first of all, first thing I want to look into is the Saturn entering Aries. That will happen on February 13th of 2026. It will be influencing us until April 12th of 2028. So this one is like a big one. And when Saturn enters the energy of Aries, that means you're pairing up discipline with the fire element of leadership of the emperor, because usually in tarot, Aries is the emperor. This is when you're getting straight with yourself and with the world around you about how you're going to move forward, and you're going to be really disciplined in it. And then besides that, you will know how to delegate situations, and so that you can be the best version of you that you can be. So it's a very well, I mean, it's like 2 years, right? So it's 2 years of you like rediscovering yourself. I want to see how it's going to be influencing you. I'm going to be using these legendary ladies. Ooh, I like this one. Look what you got. We have Gaia Connection to Nature. And straight up, when I got this, the only thing I thought to myself is first structured, because you see how behind the clouds, everything is like a little square. Squares remind me of Saturn. I don't know if you know, but it has a cube in it. It actually has an octagon, but it's actually a cube. So it reminds me of that. So Saturn, Earth, Saturn connecting to Earth is kind of this energy of being disciplined, but also being grounded in who you are, not too much in your mind, and kind of like that spiritual self, where you have so much of your imagination. You're very practical in your approach. So it's going to wake up your practical 3D approach, turning off a little bit your woo-woo approach to things, which is going to help you manifest what you need for your future. So I'm feeling very much grounded energy that is going to come because of that. The second thing I want to look into is this solar eclipse in the sign of Aquarius. It's important to state that where I am in the world, which is central USA, we're not going to see it. But even though we do not see it, we will still feel it, because it does create magnetic poles in our field of Earth, right? So that is on the 17th of February. And not only that, but this day we also have a new moon Aquarius. The thing is that when they showed me this, I thought to myself, oh, I get it now, because the eclipse is talking about something that is eclipsing out of your life, something that's coming out of your life. And it feels like a mask, like who you used to be, the role you used to play. And then with the new moon in Aquarius, it's kind of like revealing what is hidden. So I mean, it feels very like the world seeing you, the real you. So I'm going to see how that's going to affect you. I'm going to use this other oracle deck. I feel like it's because I'm seeing you very grounded. It's like the imaginary version of you is going to finally start becoming the real version of you. I'm just saying. So passion. This is the energy of an awakening of a fire inside of you. So the eclipse feels like whatever was muted inside of you, like things that you didn't let people see, aspects of yourself that you didn't want to reveal because you thought it was too much for some people, that is going to come up. And you're going to find a new passion for life. Because I think a lot of people, when they start feeling blah, like depressed and things don't have any value or worth in it, it's because it's really not authentic to you. Like, how is the world going to feel great if you're not allowed to be you, right? And I also think it's focusing a lot on the past and how the world wants to see you, the past you, the one that you don't allow to shut off of yourself to become something new. And this feels like you're grounded. First, you start off on the 13th about grounded, and then you start going into this energy of awakening your inner dragon, right? Now the next thing is Saturn going conjunct in Neptune. And it's in Aries at 0 degrees on February 20th. The important thing is that this is called the Great Reset, or the world point. According to what I've found, some dates and some states other, but the last time we had this perfect conjunction of 0 degrees Aries in this energy, it was like 3,000 or 5,000 years ago. I don't know, but look it up. It's a long time ago that this happened. And this is like an identity shift. Like whatever you identified with before, you no longer feel like you're that. And it's a restructuring, and it's very chaotic energy because you're challenging your normal. Okay. So, and this is something that's happening in the collective. So that means that the collective is all gonna like reset. So you can just imagine how this is gonna affect the world in general. But let's see how it's gonna affect you. Look at how retarded my hands are. That's so funny that I say that. Because I feel like it was like I felt like I was fumbling around things because my hands didn't know how to function. And I think that that's something really important to your reading. I feel like in the beginning it's going to feel very weird to you, this energy, and you're going to feel like you're going to be messing up a lot and fumbling around it because you can't get it. And we have number 33, and it says sharing. Important about 33 is that I feel like you're getting into level 33, master number 33. And for me, 33, every person interprets it different. 11 has to do with the divine masculine. 22 has to do with divine feminine, and 33 is the union of the two in levels of alchemy for me. Important to say for me because everybody's going to be like, oh, like I don't care. It's what it is for me. There is a giving and a receiving, and a receiving and a giving. And we have the energy of sharing. As your passion awakens, I believe that this energy, how it's going to shift you, is that you've always been like kind of isolated, kind of to yourself. You've learned a lot of things. Everything you kind of kept to yourself. The way that you perceive the world, the way that you are, blah, 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 you kept it to yourself because that was your hidden world. The only people and places and things that could actually have exposure to that are this small knit people. Everybody else cannot know because they're not ready for it. And this is you expanding outward. And that's interesting because that goes along with this next part where on February 26th, Mercury retrograde starts in the sign of Pisces. And Pisces is the old world. Aquarius is the new world as we're shifting into the age of Aquarius. And that shift is creating this dynamic where we're breaking down that belief system. This is who you are. This is what you are. This is blah, blah. And you're breaking it down and you're becoming something new and you're revealing your true essence with that sharing energy. And that's what I feel is going to happen during this Mercury retrograde. I feel it hostile. I know that sounds weird, but every single time I connect to an energy, there's energies that come towards me regarding it. And in this one, it feels hostile, like, like civil war. It can be a war with you, with yourself. It can be a war with you and your immediate group. But it does feel like a civil war energy where we're no longer gonna bow down kind of energy. And I'm not going to allow myself to be this person anymore because that's not who I am. And I'm not going to do this anymore. That kind of energy. I want to know how it's going to affect you. Which ones do I want to use? I want to use these. And I'll put 3 for these. These are the Orisha desks. One, 2. Ooh, I like this. 3. I like this a lot. So, ooh, one fell in my lap. I'm not going to take it, but I'm going to show it to you guys. Oh, this is the Eight of Air. That's being stuck in many layers of a cage, you know? That's interesting because it fell in my lap. And so I'm like, I'm not taking it before I eat this. So the first thing that comes out is Oshumare, and that's the serpent god. And do you see the rainbow in the back? This is talking about like a Kundalini awakening, if you want to think about it that, but that's shedding away of everything that you used to be. That was the year of the snake was last year. So that's interesting that they came out first. The second thing that comes out is the Six of Cups. I'm going to put it away far away from you guys because it has nudie stuff. And the Six of Cups has, and it's a mermaid, and that reminds me of an awakening of something that had been lost inside of you. And because it's a mermaid, it reminds me of like their song. I feel like it's an awakening of your voice, something that maybe before you used to be very vocal, before you used to be like very expressive of yourself, etc. And you went through a period where you had to hide, not speak your mind, not be this person, blah blah blah, and that person is starting to come through again. Yeah. And the last one is Jans, Yansa, and Yansa is talking about storms, and it's calling a storm. I feel like the actions that you're going to be taking, and this is goes back to the fact that I feel very turbulent for that retrograde. It's self advocacy, fighting for yourself, saying, I'm not going to take that, putting your foot down in certain things, creating stronger boundaries, starting a storm. Because you have to keep in mind, everything was used to you, and you being in that position, it's like you're like a cornerstone to some kind of foundation. Removing the cornerstone rumbles the whole thing. It's like a huge tower moment. And what I'm feeling is that as you're shedding your skin, as you're revealing who you are, as this version of you is coming forth, you're remembering your truth, the one that was before it got distorted. When you were a kid, the way that you thought before something or someone in your life just like totally destroyed you or totally disillusioned you, and you just turned off. And that's coming back online, and now you're going to fight for you. And this is funny because Capricorn, I felt like this was last year's energy, um, but it's coming through again for you. Um, I'm feeling like no longer feeling lost in the illusion of things. Okay. And then finally, I'm just going to do a really quick read as to any additional information that would like to come out for my Capricorn collective, English collective, the ones that are going to stay here to watch this video, any additional messages that you want to tell them. Ten of Swords. Right off the jump, I do feel like something's really big is ending for you in February. We have the Knight of Pentacles that is talking about starting to invest in something new. After that, we have the Emperor energy, which is great because I told you the Emperor energy is very present. I believe I was talking about the Emperor energy in the beginning of the month on the 13th, where I told you that discipline meets the Emperor energy. This is you kind of deciding, this is what I'm going to do. And it doesn't matter how hard it is or how long it's going to take me. This is what I'm going to do. Wow. We also have the Lovers card. And in the Lovers cards, I'm feeling like you're going to be making new connections. We have the Wheel of Fate. And so these new connections are going to change certain cycles in your life. And then we have the Hermit card, and there's going to be new versions of yourself that you're going to discover. In the bottom of the deck, we do have the Fight, but everybody's taking a break and they're sitting down, right? And the Five of Wands for me, I was going to say Five of Swords, and Five of Swords is like tired after a fight. I feel like by the end of February, you are going to feel a little bit tired after a fight. Like like really pushing yourself to move forward in something. I know something's ending in February. I know you're investing in something new. The thing that you're investing in new, you're going to have more of that feeling of control, being disciplined, having structure, being able to move forward. It's something due to a connection that you're making. It's going to be changing the patterns and cycles in your life. So the Wheel of Fate for me is talking about new lessons, new levels, new bosses, new things that you're going to be experiencing so that you can move up to the next level. Um, the cycle of the Wheel of Fortune for me doesn't necessarily mean everything's going to be easy breezy, lemon squeezy. It feels like it's going to be one of those things like, yay, this is awesome, that sucks. This is awesome, that sucks. This is awesome, this sucks, because you're moving in a different direction. But there is going to be like self alchemy, because the Hermit for me, it talks about discovering things that you didn't know that you can do in yourself. Um, it feels like a challenging month, Capricorn. And just because I do see the Five of Wands here, and I do see the Yansa energy and stuff, I do feel like there is going to be challenges. But I don't think it's challenges like something outside of you telling you you can't be who you're supposed to be. It doesn't feel like that. It feels more along the lines of challenges because whatever you're confronting, it's forming a new identity for you. And this new identity is new and it feels uncomfortable. That's just very natural. Um, the last thing I want to do, like I was doing for the 3 read, I'm going to pull out one of these other affirmation cards. It's 2-sided, and I'll read both sides for you, okay? Like I told you before, affirmations, I used to use these a lot. I find joy and pleasure in the simple things, is the one side. And in the back it says, one thing I can do today that will bring me pleasure is. And so this is talking about the fact that you're going to be going through a lot of difficulty because you're rediscovering yourself. You're recreating yourself. You're becoming that emperor. Okay. There are going to be moments where you're going to feel distress. And so in those moments, it's telling you to focus on this. I find joy and pleasure in the smallest, the simplest things. And it's telling you, I need you to focus on one thing today that you can do that will bring you pleasure, or one thing today that happened that brings you joy to think about it. All right. Every single time that you start feeling like you're going down that hill of negativity and crashing into this big wand of shit, I'd be like, okay, I'm going to let myself feel that, because sometimes you got to feel it, you know? And then you're like, okay, done with my pity party. The smallest violin in the world. I'm going to turn it off for a second. What is one good thing that happened today? And try to focus on that. All right. I hope that helps.